What is up? What is up, YouTube boxing family? It is K right here. I'm back at it with another good video for you guys today, and yeah, let's get right into it, man. Let's talk about female boxing. We got a very good fighter that I love to give my props and credits to. This one female fighter, she's lovely. I love her a lot. Great fighter, great talent. But I'm going to give props to this fighter who's the current world champion. Her name is Cherneka Johnson. She's the current IBF world champion that just recently fought on the Devin Haney George Kambosos undercard. But yeah, she's a good fighter. She had made her second or her first title defense predating to the very close fight with Melissa Esquivel, in which she's a good fighter of her own right, but that was a good tough rugged fight, and I like everything out of Cherneka. I think she's a valuable fighter for the division. Not a lot of competition in this pool. The dangerous names I say that she would probably be in a good fight with would be Yamalef Mercado, which I don't think she's dangerous. I think she could outpoint her if she's able to, but she definitely has good decent pressure, and she sometimes fights a little bit dirty in some of her fights because like she doesn't really box as well as people make her out to be. I think about what Cherneka is what I think about any fighter coming from the other side of the world. Like, I don't think a good load of them are good unless they're actually making improvements. And with Cherneka's skill set, she's not like your standard European, come forward fighter, because like that's what a good number of what the women technically be doing. But I don't think she does that. I think she expands her regiment a lot further. So I love that out of her. She's a great woman, same age as me, 27, borderline 28, and yeah, like I like everything out of her. She has very great, I should say, she has good ring IQ. I think her ring IQ is a little bit underrated, just only because like she hasn't been able to like put it up there with any like difficult names yet. But I think like once that the opposition gets a little bit pushed up a little bit higher, I think it'll be on high display, and I think she constantly gets better every fight. So I love everything out of her. Great woman, great fighter, and I'm happy to support her career because she's a very hard-working woman outside of boxing, and everything that she does to represent her culture. And I think she's like Maori and Australian, but yeah, she's technically from Tauranga, New Zealand, so she's technically a New Zealand person. But yeah, either way, she's awesome. She's a beautiful woman. So yeah, either way, like I just want to give like my props out to her, just to give her like a little bit of shine and just show like my props out to her. But yeah, the rest of everybody that's in her division, you got some decent fighters in the division. You got Marilyn Rivas, you got Sigalan Lefebvre. I think she's the WBO world champion. Yeah, she's the WBO super bantamweight world champion. She just recently fought back in May, so not a bad fighter. I mean, the only tough names that I think that will be a very tough fight will be definitely Yamalef Mercado, but I think she could beat her. Mariana Juarez, I'm not too sure. I think it's already time for her to like hang it up. I love Mariana a lot. Very, very educated, strong woman outside of boxing, and I like everything out of her. She's a very influential person for the sport of women's boxing. I would like to see, I should say, I want to see her in there with, who's the other chick? There's really nobody here. But I mean, if we're looking at champions only, I mean, Yamileth Mercado, Siegelin Lefebvre, and then Marilyn Rivas. Like, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, honestly, like if she's trying to unify and she's gonna go for undisputed, I think her and whatchamacallit, I think her and Marilyn Rivas would be a very good fight before she goes after like Mercado and Lefebvre. I think Mercado and Lefebvre, they're gonna end up unifying. I don't see why why Mercado would not want to do it. But yeah, like I'm all for it. Have these queens go at it. I think at this stage of anybody's career right now, they're gonna make good money, regardless. But I just think where things are going right now, it's just fair to say that women's boxing, it's definitely growing, but it's not, to me, like I don't think it's heavily growing at a high scaling level, because if it was super duper big, then there wouldn't be like a need for us men to like really talk about women's boxing, because like the women would be doing most of what they're talking. But what gets women's boxing still growing is that us men, we still love women, and we like everything that that women currently do. So I mean, I'm never going to talk against women, because I have a lot of respect for the ladies that do go out there and put it all on the line to attempt to be the best. So I like everything that Cherneka is doing. She's moving correctly. She's doing everything fine, and I think she'll do very well. Once like the opposition starts to upgrade a little bit higher. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing her in the bigger fights. I think stylistically wise, like she could definitely, like she has a good chance to beat Marilyn Rivas, but Rivas, she's a very good bona fide pure boxer, and she has great counter punching ability. So that's only like the biggest problem that I have with that fight. I mean, I don't think it's ever going to be anything hard for her to like figure out like the style. I think she has like a high scaling to know what she needs to do, but it's not like she can't get any better from what she's going to improve on. But yeah, Cherneka, she's a very good fighter, and I just wanted to give like my props, because she definitely knows what she's doing. And I guess as far as like her style goes, if you guys wanted to like know more about what she's really good at doing, she's very good at like coming in front foot heavy with a jab. Some other things that she could work on is just making sure that she gets her head off of the line when she's trying to over counter with like a right. And either way, like it's just like the basic fundamentals, that's all. Very, very good, beautiful fighter with a lot of a lot of speed with her punches. She really shows a lot of heart and determination. Even in her most recent fight with Susie Ramadan, who is a veteran in the game. I think even if she was younger or just as young as her, I think she definitely would have given Susie the same amount of problems. She did manage to drop her, which was a very, very good like account of herself, because she managed to regain her bearings while she had that really bad nasty cut on her head. But yeah, like I'm happy for her, man. Like she really showed a lot of championship heart and determination, and not a lot of women can do that, because I'm not to say that women can't handle war just as much as us men. Like when men prepare for like a militaristic combat in war, I think people fail to realize like women, they have like the same amount of capacities with men, but the only issue is like women, they have to they have to go through like the motions of being in a more difficult situation where they don't know what the expectation would be from a drawback in a in a psychological conflict. So I think similar to combat sports, it just depends on the woman that's able to handle the amount of pressure and I guess like physical and mental trauma that would make anybody say, okay, like I don't, I don't ever want to go through this like again, and this is something that's not suitable for me. But I'm proud that Cherneka did her thing, and she's definitely like a dog. She got a lot of Sean Porter grit, I would say, at 122. I don't think the other women would be able to do what she has to go through. I think some of her other contemporaries like Ellie Scottney, and I don't know if Amy Timlin is in the division. I think she left. I want to say she fights a featherweight or a super feather, but I mean she is like a really big fighter for the division. Not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm just saying, like, a lot of these girls that are young, they're definitely increasing in size. So yeah, I mean it's gonna be interesting to see where these divisions go. But I mean the division's heating up, and women's boxing is definitely delivering. I'm having so much fun talking about any woman that I talk about, and yeah, I got plenty of other girls that I would like be honored to just have like a good chat with. Man, I wish I could speak with like Amanda Serrano. In which actually, you know what? I need to talk about Amanda Serrano because she definitely needs to be on a video that I need to talk about in terms of like I guess like her career and like where does things go with Amanda Serrano, and yeah, what are the final stages that she would need to put herself into to solidify legacy. But I think that'll be easy for me to break that down because I love Amanda Serrano a lot, and I give her nothing but all the love and credit, and she's done everything in the sport. So salute to the queen, Miss Amanda Serrano. And yeah, I will have a video coming out for very, very soon. Yeah, but as far as Cherneka goes, she definitely has like a whole massive gauntlet list of tough opponents somewhere in the future. I think honestly, like she has a good chance of beating Marilyn Rivas. I think she can outpoint her potentially because obviously Rivas, she is older and she's not at her best state as a champion, in which she is good. Like I love Marilyn a lot, and I give her nothing but a lot of credit and respect, and I enjoy talking with her. Like I have some conversations when she's available. But yeah, she's a decent fighter. She obviously wasn't able to be consistently active because of COVID and some minor setbacks that held her career, but I think either way, like she has like a high scaling in what she does, so I'm never to really think that she's ever in like the worst moments of her career where she has to not be as successful, and she's going to like look bad in any of her future fights. But I think she's at like a good point of her career where she's heavily game for a lot of females, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who she's gonna fight, because I would personally like to see her face against Ellie Scottney. I think that's a good fight to be made. I would I wouldn't mind Cherneka Johnson, but I think with Cherneka's situation in the IBF, probably anybody that she'll be fighting through DiBella Entertainment, which she did recently state that she's now with Lou DiBella. So I don't know how that's going to work out. I'm not a fan of Lou DiBella, as some people may know me. But I think knowing that women's boxing does scale a little bit good with him, at least you could get some money out of him and just keep building up, wins. That's all. That's everything that I like out of her, because at least with her, she's a very good, exciting fighter. Her style very, very well resembles like a come forward, front foot heavy, knows how to use her jab and speed type of fighter. And she's a very lovely fighter. She like, I would say like male wise, like she has like a very mini Sean Porter type fighting build, but she has tremendous boxing skills. Very similar to honestly, like I would even put her next to I mean, a fighter with great boxing skills. That's really hard. Like to any Black American style, my favorite would my favorite comparison would probably be uh I wouldn't even say Jermaine Ortiz because I think Jermaine Ortiz is definitely levels above a style of her own caliber. But any good style that's really out there, just trying to think of it, man, because there's so many good styles out there for on the men's side. But I guess if you want to say at 122, I don't know. That's kind of hard because there's really not that many good boxers at 122. But I'm definitely not gonna say Cool Boy. But I say for any fighter, it doesn't matter. Let the weight. I don't know. That's a little bit of a toss-up. But I'll just pick. Let's see. Who could I pick? I'll say Brian Mendoza. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, Brian Mendoza. Yeah, she definitely has the style that you could put her inside like the Ismail school or the Ismail Salas school of Cuban school boxing. So I think she would heavily scale a lot higher in that regard because she definitely has pop, and she's in that same category with your Dennis Ugas. Like if you mess around with her, she's gonna show something to you that's going to hurt you. So like that's actually a very good style that she does have, and that's a very good aggressive style. She has a good front foot heavy, Sean Porter come forward style. But then when she boxes, she's in that Brian Mendoza camp where she really sets up those shots amazing, at a good level, and that's something that I can definitely put her in that category for, because what her style would definitely resemble under is the Ismail school, the Ismail Salas school of Cuban boxing, and I think that style would definitely fit her because she knows how to move very well. She's not coming in there to like look pretty. She's coming in there to hurt you, but she definitely doesn't get hit as much as she normally does. Like obviously in the last fight, people will say, "Oh, well, she got bloodied up, blah blah." Well, yeah, that's boxing. Like some fights are gonna, like some fights that you go through, you're gonna go through some very very dirty fights. Like not a lot of people really understand that, but they really do think like once you get bloodied up and you have like these wars with people, like they think like that you no longer have good defense, and that's not true. Like every fight is unpredictable, so you don't know what to expect. So it's best that you be defensively technical because you don't want to take a lot of exchanges, especially if you're going to go the full distance in a massive war. If it's going to go past like 5 rounds, 6 rounds, and you're trying to go out there trying to knock out your like opponent, it's not to be like the best option because you don't know what's going to happen. So I think personally, Cherneka, she's in a very good position right now where she doesn't have to utilize a lot of her abilities yet. But I think once the time is right and once she gets better, she's going to start being more defensively technical, in which she is good with her defense now. But I think as the fights, start to age up more with the better, opponents, which I think with the women, they're doing a very fantastic job matching each other up with like no problem, because obviously women's boxing is not financially popular compared to men's boxing, but still the women are definitely upgrading themselves higher to get paid more sooner than later. But I think at this stage of their careers, the women have to take all the risks because that's what's gonna make them blossom into better fighters. So I think either way, in Cherneka's case, she has a lot of good competition in front of her, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think it's time to see her in there with all the champions. I think she has a very good shot at beating a good load of them. I say that the toughest opponent that could potentially be a losing battle would be I'd probably say be Marilyn Rivas over Mercado, because Mercado, she's flat-footed, so if she could take advantage of that and just use her distance and make Mercado miss a lot, then I think that fight will very well not be as competitive as people make it out to be. So, I mean, that's just me, of course. Like, I don't need to really think of anything else to think that the fight itself won't be competitive. But I just think when you look at her style, her style would definitely be a lot more favorable to beat, Mercado more, rather than Rivas, because Rivas, she knows how to box very well. A lot of people don't want to give her any credit for the boxing. I think her boxing is beautiful. She has amazing, punch placement. Her ring IQ is off the charts, just like hers. But she also knows how to position her feet at the right place at the right time and make the fight as competitive as she wants to. So, regardless of her feet not being as good, she definitely she definitely knows how to put herself in the right footwork accuracy position to not let Cherneka like tee off on her. But I think with Mercado's case, especially in the Amanda Serrano fight, like it clearly showed that she could have tried to outbox Amanda, but I don't think that would have happened because Amanda figured her out very quickly, to the point where Mercado, she was literally thinking like, oh well, I'm gonna stop her regardless, blah blah blah, and I'm gonna just beat her up all 10 rounds. And I guarantee you, if that was like a 12 rounder, she definitely would have had that face destroyed in a 3-minute war. And I think honestly, like, not a lot of people really give Amanda credit for the amount of pressure that she uses in her fights, but she's not coming in there to like make it a boring fight. She makes it a very good fight, and people think like she can't box at all. Like, she just goes in there trying to rush for knockouts, but that's simply not true, because Amanda, she has way better skills than most women in multiple divisions don't want to understand. And they think that Amanda just handpicks her, opponents, and it's not true. Like, she's fighting champion after champion. So it's like at some point of her career, like, she would need to kind of like, like, she would need to settle down on some like opponents where they may not look as good, but if they're still at like the top 3 or top 5 in her respectable divisions that she's conquered, then there's nothing wrong with that. It's all perfectly fine. There's really no reason to even say that she's not fighting let the best opposition, because she, like, 9 times out of 10, she, like, most people don't want to fight her because they know that her style is going to dominate a lot of other female styles. But if these women really wanted to fight her and they really wanted to come after her and take her down, then what they should have done is that they should have showed up to her fights and told her, hey, let's go ahead and fight each other. I want you next, blah, blah, blah. But it's not like that, because Amanda Serrano, she isn't doing anything but just getting fights. That's all. She doesn't need to do anything but just say, look, I'm doing my part to fight the next best available opponent, but there's no reason for her to try to move up to higher weight classes if her body can't allow it, because that is like a lot of weight differential. And compared to Cherneka's case, she does fight women that are just about her same size. So in that same regard, I don't think she's really going to have too many issues with the size differential. I'd probably say that the only woman that might come in a lot bigger than her is definitely Yamalif Mercado, because she does be looking like a lightweight or almost like a junior welterweight. Definitely she looks like a 140 pounder on fight night. And I don't know if that's just her ballooning up in weight because she's either having like a fat camp, or like half of her camp is a fat camp, and then the rest of everything is a, you know, just like very limited skills base, you know, camp where she's not really getting much work done. But I just don't really see like the 122 division being that deep. And I think like once people get beat out and people start to see like, you know, let the real talent branch out more. I think 122 is going to be very simple to figure out who's good. But in Cherneka's case, I think she has a high scaling to definitely make history if she could become, you know, the very first of, I want to say she would be the very first, whatchamacallit, she will be the first undisputed female 122-pound champion. But on top of that, that's out of New Zealand, and I'm not too sure if that makes history for Australia. But if so, I'm all for it. You know, I like her a lot. She's a great woman, and I wish her nothing but the best. So much love to Cherneka Johnson. You know, she is a very, very skilled woman or skilled fighter. And yeah, you know, please support her. So I will see you guys later. Salute to the mighty, mighty LDBC, TWT, and I will see you guys soon. So, all right, thank you guys. Peace out and goodbye.